Today we're going to talk about factoring. So this is something new, and I just wanted to point something out before we start doing this. So in the past, throughout your career, we've done, we'll show you how to do addition, and then we show you its exact opposite, which is subtraction, and then we show you multiplication, and then we show you its opposite, division. And here, what we've done is we've shown you how to go in this direction. We've shown you how to do this process, which is called expanding or foiling. Now what we want to do is we want to go in the other direction, and this is what's called factoring. So why don't we start completely from scratch, and we're going to try to reverse engineer how we would go about doing this. And the best way we can do that is starting with something we know, which is expanding. So let's start with this expression, and let's do x plus 2 times x plus 4. Right, so we have x times x is x squared. X times plus 4 is plus 4x. Plus 2 times x is plus 2x. And finally, plus 2 times plus 4 is plus 8. I'm going to do an intermediary step. Normally here we would collect like terms, and we're kind of doing that. But I want to do something that will help us identify sort of what's going on behind the scenes. So in yellow here, let's do 4 plus 2. And then here, why don't we do it in green? And we'll do, oops, let's do 4 times 2. Let's try to see if we can identify the pattern. So obviously there's something to do with the 2 and the 4. And we'll do one more line underneath. So this is the actual line that we would do if we were just doing expanding. The line with all the colors on in the middle is just to sort of give us a clue what's happening. So 6x and 8, that doesn't really show us much with the 4 and the 2. So the plus 4 and the plus 2 are a definitive clue. And essentially what we've done is they need to add to the middle term. So plus 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. And 4 times 2 is equal to 8. So there's sort of a hidden 4 and a 2 here. And ideally what we want is we want to create some sort of a t-chart. So I like doing this. And I'll basically go, okay, what are the factors of 8? So we would have 1 and 8. Let's write them a little neater. So 1 and 8. We would have 2 and 4. We would have minus 1 and minus 8. And we would have minus 2 and minus 4. So right off the bat, we can kind of see, okay, so each of these things are going to multiply by 8, which is what we want, right? But we need to look at which ones add to 6. And in this case, we have 1 plus 8 is 9. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. So at this point, we would stop. But just for sake of argument, let's look at the other ones. Minus 1 times minus 8. Sorry, minus 1 plus minus 8 is minus 9. And then finally, minus 2 plus minus 4 would be minus 6. So the exact opposite of what we want. So here, we've identified the plus 2 and the plus 4. So what we could do, if we wanted to go from here to the bottom line up to the top line, we would use this sort of a t-chart thing, right? So we have x plus 2, right, which is this thing here, times x plus 4, which comes from this. So let's completely erase this. And let's do one from scratch. So let's say I give you something like, what's a good example? Let's do x plus 3x plus 2. Let's get our t-chart. So here, We want things that multiply to 2. And this is a simple example. So we only have 1 times 2, and thankfully 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, right? So we'll have equals x plus 1 times x plus 2. Perfect. Let's do one more. That was sort of a trivial example. That was quite easy. Let's do one that's a little bit more complex. So let's do, what's a good example? X squared plus 7x plus 12. So what are the factors of 12? There's a lot of them. Okay. So we have 1 and 12. That's always the freebie, 1 times something. We have 2 times 6. We have 3 times 4. And that's it. We also have the negative ones. Well, let's include those for completeness. So let's do minus 1 times minus 12, minus 2 times minus 6, and minus 3 times minus 4. Here, what we want to do is we want to sort of scan down this list and find something that sums to 7, right? So all of these things multiply to 12. Now we need to look at our other constraint, which is them adding to 7. So 1 plus 12, 13. 2 plus 6 is 8. 3 plus 4 is 7, which is what we want. I'm going to keep going. Minus 1 plus minus 12 minus 13, minus 2 minus 6 is minus 8, and minus 3 plus minus 4 is equal to minus 7. Okay, so here let's go with the one we've circled. So we would do x plus, so we have the 3 here, so x plus 3, and then we would have x plus 4, and we're done. So this is how I would approach this. Don't do this in your head when you're first starting. Use the chart, right? Use the tools, and then eventually this is going to become so automatic for you that you could do this in your head. But always when you're learning something, do it the long way, because this is sort of the thought process that even to this day, I sort of visualize this chart in my head, right? So always stick with the proper way. And then as you get more advanced, then this will become like second nature to you.